It's rather astounding that people still don't quite understand how canon works, and it's one of the dumbest takes I've seen regarding this from the right. I generally am on board with, but sometimes he does a dumb one, and this is one of them. From Chad Porter over on Fansided Daily, or what did Star Trek Strange New Worlds confirm the animated series isn't canon? No, this has been established. It is canon. It's been canon since early 90s when Paramount and CBS got full control over it. It was set aside for legal reasons because Filmation still had a claim. Until that was resolved, that it was off limits. And the story about Gene saying it's not that's because Gene would say anything to get out of an argument and a long discussion he didn't want to deal with. It was legal reasons. Once they had it, it was canon. It was being referenced. There's plenty of references in DS9 and in Enterprise. There may be one or two of them in Voyager. I don't know. But no, it's canon. It has been for a while. And it meets all the criteria. It was on NBC. Gene Roddenberry was overseeing the thing, and writers, from the original series. They had the original cast. Most of the scripts were ones that were intended for a fourth season if they had gotten renewed. It's canon. There's the thing about it on the DVD set or the debate, and that's where David Jarrell lays out. And it's stupid. It's canon. Roddenberry was in charge of it. Dorothy Fontana was the was showrunner. You had several of the writers from the original series. You had almost the entire cast of the original series in their roles. It's essentially again, I don't say fourth and fifth because six episodes in the second season. So 22 episodes. It's your fourth season. So, and that's one thing about Lower Decks. They fully embrace the animated series. They got animated stuff all over that, original animated stuff all over that show. They even had a screen cap of Kirk and Spock from the animated series and Ransom's pad. So, but there's nothing about, did Strange New Worlds confirm the animated series in the canon? No. Well, the way canon works, not just Star Trek, but any property or thing, you have a canon. The Arthur Conan Doyle stories of Sherlock Holmes, that's the canon. In fact, that's pretty much where the concept started of having a canon for a pop culture property. Because there was fanfic and stuff, back then. People were in their own Sherlock Holmes stories. But that's the established canon, the Arthur Conan Doyle stories. Elementary does not overwrite canon. The Sherlock series that Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss did does not overwrite canon. Okay? Rings of Power does not overwrite Lord of the Rings canon. Okay? In fact, they're actually forbidden from using. That's why they're going so weird, because they can't use the actual stuff. Yeah, Ringo's done a lot right for the world of Star Trek. No, they brought back the stellar old school. They brought back this basic, regular, one and done episode story. They kept forcing them to actually write. Finishing the story, Captain? No. Again, the way it works is, and they're going to the thing. In fact, they made Robert April a big black guy. Which completely in his mind overwrites the counterclock incident where we see Robert April as a white guy, but every other depiction we see has been as a white guy. The canon is set. The only people who can overwrite canon are the ones who set it in the first place. That's Gene Roddenberry and Rick Berman, who was designated by Roddenberry to take over. None of these clowns have that authorization. So the way it works, and this is any thing, you either are compliant with the canon or you're non-canon. It's as simple as that. Lower Decks is pretty compliant with canon. They love it. They love that sandbox. They can use every toy they got. Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Section 31 is not compliant with canon. It does not overwrite it. They don't have the authority. I don't give a shit what Paramount, you're running it. That doesn't mean you cannot overwrite the canon. It is set. It is done. There's no overwriting it. Roddenberry himself would have problems coming back and overwriting it but not that he would. But these clowns have no authority to overwrite a damn thing. They're establishing their own canon, possibly. Not that they can keep track of it. They contradict themselves within individual episodes sometimes. Like they'll say, Discovery, several episodes of Discovery, they'll say one thing and then completely go the opposite direction, 10 minutes later. So, is Robert April really a black guy? Only in the Discovery universe. In the main canon Star Trek universe, no. Robert April was a white guy. Voiced by Jimmy Doohan in the animated series. So, no. This isn't how it works. And it also makes it that that Porto doesn't care for the animated series. Tough. I don't know. You actually watched the animated series and actually watched it, paid attention to the storylines. A lot of the stories were, again, planned for the 4th season. Including, especially the David Gerald ones with Bem and More Troubles, More Troubles. Those were planned for a 4th season if they had gotten lucky. No, Barry, that ugly cartoon. No, wrong. Doesn't work that way. I mean, plus the fact that they kind of skip on the make it immediately Admiral April. What happened to Commodore April? After the original series, after the later part of the original series. Did he get demoted somewhere? No. So sorry, Chad, you're wrong on this one. It's just to look into some things out there. It's like, hey, Daniel, but no, this doesn't work that way. Okay, you cannot overwrite canon unless you're the one who set the canon in the first place. Like what George Lucas did with the prequel trilogy. Yeah, he overwrote a lot of stuff, but he's the one who created the damn thing in the first place. He's allowed, within reason. Kurtzman. Goldsman, no. You don't have the authority in any way, shape, or form to overwrite a damn thing. You do it, you're no longer compliant with canon, you're doing your own thing. Which, of course, begs the question, why didn't you just call it something else in the first place? Quit pissing in our sandbox. Go mess your own thing up, okay? And I think we'll wrap it at that there. So we'll talk at you later. Thank you.